Yes, I'm ready. Let's start. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to all of you. And we are starting this morning a very special Shabbat morning service dedicated to mental health awareness. And Kingston community is very happy and very proud to support this initiative, to support Jami for that. And the liturgy service is shortened to let space to the mental health concerns. We will have a study and a talk from Laura Bahar from Jami. I would like here to announce a sad news that we heard yesterday. So the Elgar Edelstein, we are very sad to announce that the loss of Elgar Edelstein. She was the aunt of Katia Ray, and she was a long-standing member and an ex-council member. So all our sympathy to the family. And we start with an extract of Exodus and of Yedid Nefesh. I will share this. It is Nafshi Cholat Af Kacha Ana Elna Refanala, and we sing this way. It is one tune. Nafshi cholat avatecha, ana refanala. Nafshi cholat avatecha, ana refanala. Nafshi cholat avatecha, Ana elna refanala, nafshi cholat ahavatecha, ana elna refanala. And through this short line of words, we can feel our soul very deeply and seek for our sensitive part. According to the Kabbalistic view, we receive a neshama yetera during Shabbat, an additional soul. And the Hasid, Cephas Emes, taught that we also can feel the pain in our soul and try to appease it during Shabbat. And it's like, he said that it's like an act of Bikur Cholim, visiting the sick, to be together during Shabbat. And as we were a witness for each other in our spiritual longing for God and for healing. So it is an experience of our vulnerability and our ability to share the pain. We pray for our own healing, and also, I think it's very important, for the healing of our fellows, comrades, and family members. It is an idea of reciprocity to help oneself and each other in our quest for God, for love, and for healing. And continue with a prayer we say when we get up in the morning. Vince.
We're going to sing Modeh. And my rabbinic advisor, called Janet, has just told me that if you're female, if you identify as female, it's Modah Ani, as you can see at the top of the page. And you can also see what the words mean. Thankfulness for waking up yet again for another day. Modeh ani lefanecha, melech שהחזרת בנשמתי בחמלה, חמלה רבה אמונתך. מודה אני לפניך, מלך חי וחייב, שהחזקת בנשמתי בחמלה, בחמלה, כפה אמונתך.
Thanks a lot. This morning, we try to be perhaps a little more focused on our spiritual sensibility and needs. And we start in the Siddur, page 117, for Matub.
הולך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טוב. הולך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני ברוחס לך, אהבתך, אשתחווה על חושך, ויראתך מה טוב. מה טוב, הולך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. אדוני אהבתי מעון ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך, משכן כבודך. ואני אשתחווה ואקרא אברכה לפני אדוני, עושי מה טוב, מה טוב. הולך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני תפילתי לך, אדוני את רצון, אלוהים ברוב חסדך, אלוהים ברוב חסדך. ענני באמת אישך טוב. טוב, הולך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
Thank you for this beautiful tune and your spirit, Vince. And we continue. We thank you, O God, for this new day, for morning, sun, and evening star, for flowering of tree and flowing of tide, for life-giving rains and cooling breezes, for the changing seasons, for the cycle of growth and decay, of life and death. And we awake and behold a new day. O God, renew us unto life. Teach us to recognize your presence in creation. Grateful for your gifts, may we dedicate all our powers to your service. And we continue with the morning blessing, page 118. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokei harivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish harumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה לי כל צורכי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, הנותן לעייף כוח, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המעביר שני מעיני ותנומה מעפעפיי. And we turn page 137 for the Baruch. So the public service starts with the Baruch. 137.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch et Adonai
And we are 136. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei chosher עושה שלום ובורא את הכל, המאיר לארץ ולהדרים עליה בחכמים, וכתובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה בראשית, מה חבו מעשיך, אדוני כולם בחוכמה עשית, מלאה הארץ קנייניך, תתבחר אדוני אלוהינו על שבר מעשה ידיך ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפרחוך סלם. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות. Great is your love for us, eternal God, and abundant your compassion. Our ancestors trust in you, and you taught them the laws of life. So be gracious to us and teach us. Incline our hearts to hear your words, to know and understand, to learn and to teach, and with love to uphold the truths of your Torah. Enlighten us with your teaching, make us faithful to your commandments, and wholehearted in the love and awe of your name. For in love you summon us to serve you and proclaim your unity. We praise you, O God. In love you have called your people, Israel, to serve you. Baruch atah Adonai, abocher be'amo Israel be'ahava. We are ready for the Shema. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשורבך ובקומך, וקשחתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישכך. למען תזכחו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Good and beautiful and true, sound, established and enduring are these words, now and forever. True it is, eternal one, that you are our sovereign God and Redeemer, as you were the God and Redeemer of our ancestors. You are our Maker, the rock of our salvation. We have known you always as our helper and our liberator. There is no God but you. Truly you are first and you are last. We have no Redeemer but you. You redeemed us from Egypt and freed us from the house of bondage. Then, with great joy, Moses, Miriam, and all Israel together sang to you this song. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha נדר בקודש נוחם תהילות, אוסף אלה נוחם תהילות, אוסף אלה. שיחה חדשה שיבחו גאולים, לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולה הודו והמלכו ואמרו. Adonai yimlo leolam vaed, Adonai yimlo leolam vaed. Tzur Israel, Kuma be'etzchat Israel go'alenu, Adonai tzevaot shemo, Kedosh Israel, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Israel. And here we start the daily prayer, the Amidah, and you can be seated or standing. According your custom.
Ufi agita ilatecha, Adonai, Adonai, sevatai tiftach, Adonai, ufi agita ilatecha, Adonai, sevatai tiftach.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elokei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, ve'Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Sarah, Elokei Rivka, Elokei Rachel, ve'Elokei Leah, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזורע חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים, אתה רב להושיע.
You cause the wind to blow and the rain to fall, the sun to shine and the dew to descend. In your love you sustain the living, in your compassion you grant us eternal life. You support the fallen and heal the sick. You free the captive and keep faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of all strength? Who is your equal, sovereign, author of life and death? Whose will it is, goodness shall prevail. Trusting in you, we see life beyond death. We praise you, O God, source of eternal life.
ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים. לקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מחוב, ככתוב על יניך. וככה זה ואמר, קדוש, קדוש, קדוש אדוני צבאות, מלך כל הארץ, כבודו מלא עולם, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. From your concealment, majestic one, reveal yourself and rule over us, for you are our hope. ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ונצר נצחים קדושך נקדיש. ושיבך אלוהינו, ליבנו לא ימוס לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. And we continue for a moment of silence, silent prayer. We go on page 143. Those who keep the Shabbat and call it a delight taste as a joy of redemption. The people who follow the 7 days delight in your goodness. For it pleased you to set this day apart, that we may cherish it above all other days, and pause to remember that the world is your creation. Our God and God of our ancestor, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments, and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, eternal one, let the holiness of your Shabbat enter our hearts. And may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat. רוצה אדוני אלוהינו בעמך ישראל, ותפילתם באהבה תקבל, ותהי לחצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, שאותך לבדך ביחד נעבוד. מודים אנחנו לך שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו לעולם ועד. We give thanks that you, eternal one, our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our lives, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our soul, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד וחכמים עלינו והכל ישראל עמך. ברכנו אבינו, כולנו כאחד באור פניך, כי באור פניך נתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, תורת חיים ואהבת חסד וצדקה וברכה, וחכמים וחיים ושלום, וטוב בעיניך לבחר את עמך ישראל, ואת כל העמים בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, עושה השלום. And we take a moment for a silent prayer. At the end of the Amidah, we will, if you want to add names, because we will sing Misheberach, and you can add names on Facebook or on Zoom, or also if you want to say the name in your art. We are page 146. יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. And we sing together. Say shalom. עושה שלום במרומם, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, והכל ישראל, והכל בני אדם. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו, והכל ישראל, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו והכל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו והכל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו והכל ישראל. יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו. ועל כל בני אדם וימרו אמן. And to all who are struggling with illness, mental health issues, COVID, all illnesses, please, let's sing Mishe Bechar, tuned by David Friedman.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Makor HaBracha Livotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu B'chol HaBracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen.
Philip, Sam, Judith, Shannon, and Jason. And so welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you. And we are starting the Torah service. We go to page 481. And we study this morning the parasha Bo. So just to a very short summary of the parasha. There are the last 3 plagues, and it is also a continuation of a negotiation with Pharaoh, and also we have creation of Pesach and the rules and rituals. And we are so page 481. I just sing for before reading the Torah portion. En Kamora, va'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kamasecha malchutecha, malchut kolamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. I put the text in Hebrew. So we read from chapter 10, verses 1 to 11. ויאמר אדוני אל משה בוא אל פרעה כי אני הרבצתי את ליבו ואת לב עבדיו למען שיתי אותותי אלה בקרבו ולמען תספר באוזני בנך ובן בנך את אשר התחללתי במצרים ואת אותותיי אשר שמעתי בם. וידעתם כי אני אדוני. ויבוא משה ואהרון אל פרעה ויאמרו אליו כה אמר אדוני אלוהי העברים עד מתי מאנת לענות מפניי שאלה עמי ויעבדוני כי אם אין אתה לשלח את עמי הנני מביא מחר אך בגבולך וריסה את עץ הארץ ולא יוכל לכרות את הארץ ואכל את יתר הפלטה הנשארת לכם מן הבחר ואכל את כל העץ הצומח לכם מן השדה ומלאו בתיך ובתר כל עבדיך ובצא כל מצרים אשר לא ראו אבותיך ואבות אבותיך מיום היותם על האדמה עד היום הזה ויפן ויצא מעם פרעה ויאמרו עבדי פרעה אליו עד מתי יהיה זה לנו למוקש שלח את האנשים ויעבדו את אדוני אלוהיהם עתיכם תדע כי עבדה מצרים ויושב את משה ואת אהרון את פרעה ויאמר עליהם לכו עבדו את אדוני אלוהיכם מי ומי ההולכים ויאמר משה בנערינו ובזקנינו נלך בבנינו ובבנותינו בצאנו ובבקרינו נלך כי חג אדוני לנו ויאמר עליהם יהי כן אדוני עמכם כאשר אשלח אתכם וטפכם ראו כי אנגד פניכם לא כן לכו נא הגבחים ועבדו את אדוני כי אותה אתם מבקשים ויגרש אותה מאת פני פרעה. Allow someone for the reading in English. Then the Eternal One said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his courtiers, in order that I may display this my sign among them, and that you may recount in the hearing of your children and of your children's children how I made a mockery of the Egyptians, and how I display my signs among them, in order that you may know that I am the Eternal." So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, "Thus said the Eternal, the God of the Hebrews, how long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go that they may worship me. For if you refuse to let my people go, tomorrow I will bring locusts on your territory. They shall cover the surface of the land, and that no will be able to see the land. They shall devour the surviving remnants that's left to you after the hail, and they shall eat away all your trees that grow in the field. Moreover, they shall fill your palaces and the houses of your courtiers, and all the Egyptians, something that neither your fathers nor fathers' fathers have seen from the day they appear on earth to this day. With that, he turned and left Pharaoh's presence. Pharaoh's courtiers said to him, "How long shall this one be a snare to us? Let a delegation go to worship the Eternal, their God. Are you not yet aware that Egypt is lost?" So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, "Go worship the Eternal, your God. Who are the ones to go?" Moses replied, "We will all go, regardless our social station. We will go with our sons and daughters, our flocks and herds, for we must observe the Eternal festival." But it said to them, "The Eternal be with you, the same as I mean to let your dependents go with you. Clearly, you are bent on mischief. No, you gentlemen, go and worship the Eternal, since that is what you want." And they were expelled from Pharaoh's presence. So we see that it is harsh negotiation between Pharaoh and the Hebrew. And I'd like to just I read page 488 just after reading the Torah. God's teaching is perfect, reviving the soul. God's word is unfailing, making wise the simple. God's precepts are right, delighting the mind. God's commandments are clear, enlightening the eyes. God's doctrine is pure, enduring forever. God's guidance is true and altogether just. Now, I thank you for the new people who are joining us, and with this Shabbat together. And it is time now to talk more precisely about mental health. And I would like to share with you some information about mental health. So I share this. So Jami provides a very useful toolkit, and you can download it from the website. And perhaps the first question it is, what is mental health? And so it is linked with cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well-being. It's all about how we think, feel, and behave. It helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. So it means that it includes our capacity, our desire enjoy life. So it is very important to be aware of the consequences of the on wellness. You can see that. And what is mental illness, as you can see? So we need a diagnosis, a medical diagnosis for that, and it can affect the way that we feel, act and things, and this disrupts our ability to work or carry out other daily activities and engage in satisfying personal relationships. It can be managed through prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and mental health recovery. And I would like here to show some guidelines. Yes, new ways to well-being. It is important how we can perhaps change our feeling or our position is to connect, to be active, to keep learning, and to give to others, and to be meaningful. It seems easy, right? It's like a list. So my do-it list. Do I do that? Do I do that? Again. But we cannot do that alone. We need people for that, and we have also to ask for help. Just a last point before the study, I would like to talk about youth too, the young people, because so ready? So this page. No. Sorry, but it's also important to talk about young people and their difficulties, because with the pandemic, mental health increased a lot, of course, amidst adults, but also with young people. So it's very important to be aware of that and to take care of our young people around us. So, and the well-being. So it is this also. So we have to share lived experiences. So a lot of useful tools are in this toolkit that you can download. Right now, I would like to start the study. So I choose two texts, short text. Here we are. So it is from Pirkei Avot, so chapter 1 and Mishnah 6. And so the Pirkei Avot, it is a short tractate in the Mishnah, and the short tractate has no commentary in the Gemara. And the whole Pirkei Avot is on ethics. And the chapter 1 that we are is about the succession of those who transmit the tradition from generation to generation. And the chapter 1 is a continuity of teachers with their saying of ethical substance. It is this chapter 1 like the foundation of the rabbinic authority. So it is important. It was important for the rabbis to give the name of the rabbi as a succession of generation. We are talking here about Joshua ben Peraya and Nitai the Arbelite. So they are two Zugot, and they live in the 2nd century before Common Era. So we read it. Mishnah 6. Yehoshua ben Pachaya v'nitai arbeli kiblu mehem. Yehoshua ben Pachaya omer. Aseh lecha chav ukene lecha chaver veheve dan et kol adam lechaf zechut. So here a translation. Joshua ben Paraya and Nitai the Arbalite received from them. The oral tradition, Joshua ben Paraya used to say, make for yourself a teacher and acquire for yourself a companion and judge everyone with a scale of merit. So you can write your comments or say your comments about that. I just give you some paths, we can say, there. And what is so perhaps surprising, Aseh lechachav, make for yourself a teacher. So it is so primordial, a primordial obligation to study in Judaism. So you have to learn with someone, and what you learn is how you learn. And the best for learning is to learn with someone. And some commentators said, even if it is not the teacher you would like to learn with this teacher. You will build your own skills and knowledge about the Torah and about yourself to live a meaningful life and an ethical life. And perhaps here it is perhaps the key point of the choice of this Mishnah for this morning is that ukene lecha chaver, and acquire for yourself a companion. It is like provocative, perhaps, advice, because acquire, it means, what does it mean? It is very surprising. And Maimonides comments this saying by quoting himself the Talmud, and either companionship or death. But you have no choice. You have to have a friend or you die. And so it is the importance of friendship. And this quotation from the Talmud is in the tractate Ta'anit. And the verb acquire means that whatever it costs, you have to acquire a companion, even it is with money. The point is no important. The important point is to have a companionship. You have to please the person you choose as a future friend, and the purpose is not to satisfy your companion is to satisfy your companion he has to do it. So it is the requirement of the same purpose, acquire a friend, and both as to please each other according to their own desire. And that then the intention of both will be consistent. So we feel that it is particularly relevant with the theme of this Shabbat. We live with consequences of COVID pandemic, and to be aware of well-being and mental health is essential, because we go through uncertainty, social distancing, anxiety, stress, or perhaps we discover or we experiences new feelings during the lockdown or since last year. So it's not at all an easy situation, and we have to be enough strong to discern that and to, in a way, to accept that we can go through these difficulties. And so in such a situation, a companion is more than a necessity. And as Maimonides said, it is companionship or death, quoting the Talmud. So it is vital. And for the last part, everyone with a scale of merit. And the rabbis warn us against prejudging people. Do not presume of the appearances in this way or in other way. So we have here 3 advices: a teacher, a companion, and a favorable scale. If you want to share your thought about it. I go back to the PDF, and I would like to that we see this text. So it is from this book, a very small book. Yeah, we have from K. Tempest. So it's one book. The title is On Connection, and K. Tempest is a British artist, a novelist, a musician, a performer. I discovered her as Kate Tempest on the poetry shelf of the British Library some years ago when I arrived in London. And I had a discussion with Rabbi Yaera to prepare this Mental Health Awareness Shabbat, and he told me on their new creation, an essay entitled On Connection. And it is an extract of this book. Along the journey, I have come up against a lot of people who just don't get it. In the past, I understood them as being close people, completely switch off. I used to get frustrated with these people, angry at the lack of conscientiousness. If I could only reach them, I was sure that I could change their minds. But now, thankfully, I see things differently. I see that every single person is affected by the violence of existence in different ways, and that people carry the burdens however they can. People suffer a great deal, and ideally, they must process their traumas in order to reach some kind of peace. But what is your situation? But if your situation is too intense and you can't get a moment's respite, people respond differently to things. People have different things to respond to. I am no one to judge how someone has to come to a conclusion. I am no one to judge what conclusions someone has to come to. I do not want to change minds anymore. I just want to connect. And so this book was published in last year, at the end of last year. And the publisher is Faber and Faber Limited. And in a sense, this text is like, yes, an illustration of the righteousness of acquiring a companion. Here, the focus is on the value of the connection. It is to connect, and the purpose is to find peace with the weight of trauma. And there is an acceptance point. Perhaps acceptance is a key word. Do not be a judge. People live with their suffering pain as we do ourselves. It is a fact. And we sing during Torah service, during the procession with the Sefer Torah, על שלושה דברים. על שלושה דברים, על התורה, על העבודה, על גמילות חסדים. It is from also the Pirkei Avot, chapter 1. And the word stand on three pillars: the Torah, the service, and the good deeds, the acts of kindness. And Gemilut Chasadim, Hasid, it is Hasida. In Hebrew, it is a stork. And it is when a stork, bends to his brood to feed them. So it is like that, to have compassion to other people. It was my purpose to say some words about these two texts for this specific Shabbat. Shabbat for well-being, And now I would like to read another text. It is from Rabbi to just before the Kaddish, and a text from Rabbi Mark Salomon. I don't know if someone would like to read it. I share the screen. It is here. Prayer for Mental Health Awareness Shabbat, 2021. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
I can't quite see the whole text. My video's in a way. No, I'm not sure how to change this. No, I'm lost. Sorry. I got it. No, now I've got the text. Now I'm on me. I don't know how I did that. Sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
Great.
Thank you. God of understanding, help us to deeper understanding of ourselves and one another so that we become more aware of the challenges of mental health in our lives and the lives of those we love. God of all spirits, of all flesh, help us to realize how our bodies and minds work together, how bodies and minds work together, and to make us whole human beings and to care for both our physical and mental well-being. You are called the one who knows all thoughts. So help us to understand the way we think, to know what disturbs us and what strengthens us, and so that we can guide our thoughts in life-giving paths. I have to learn to read first. God of love and fear, teach us to obey our emotions so that we can see how they affect us and how we come to nurture the feelings of joy and overcome feelings of pain and anxiety, which is not easy, I promise you. Shekhinah, divine presence, you are called the gathering of Israel, accompanying us through days and nights of loneliness, especially during this time of isolation and self-protection, and give us the strength to reach out to others for love, friendship and community, and accept offers of friendship that come our way. God of life, give us light to see how precious our lives are, how much we mean to others, and how our lives, even in this darkest times, are worth living. A spirit of compassion, help us to be kind to those around us who may be struggling with the challenges of mental and emotional health. To listen, understand and comfort and support them with patience and good humour. May we be kind to ourselves and to each other. Amen.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Philip. So it is a text from Rabbi Mark Salomon, who is a teacher at Leobeck College. And I would like to show you the video from Laura Bahar.
Hi, my name is Laura Bahar and I'm the community fundraiser at Jami, the mental health service for our community. And this is a pre-recording in honour of the Mental Health Awareness Shabbat. The Mental Health Awareness Shabbat, launched by Jami in 2017, aims to raise the profile of mental health in the Jewish community. The Shabbat falls annually on Shabbat Bo, the weekly Torah portion which tells of the plague of darkness, which has resonance with mental illness. The Mental Health Awareness Shabbat 2021 is probably the most important yet. In the past year, we have all lived through the most extraordinary of times. For so many of us, physical health concerns, uncertainty, and social distancing restrictions have led to increased feelings of anxiety and stress. For those already living with mental illness or caring for someone with mental health problems, these past months have been tougher than ever. Raising awareness and promoting conversations around mental health is a vital step to ensuring people who need support will get it. Stigma and discrimination surrounding mental illness has for too long prevented those needing help from seeking it. Living through the ongoing pandemic has affected all our mental health, and this special Shabbat is an opportunity for the entire community to focus on and raise awareness of mental health and well-being. Jami supports people experiencing mental ill health and their carers. We also run education and awareness programs, provide vocational rehabilitation, and have a mental health cafe as part of our social enterprise initiatives. Our initial response to the COVID-19 self-isolation guidance was to safeguard the people at risk of the virus, but also the people at risk of being isolated, especially people who do not have support systems in place and who are already struggling with having their most basic needs met. For some, our building-based services are about having a safe place to go, a place to belong, to connect with others, and to have a hot meal. These hubs are a place to get practical and emotional support for day-to-day issues that can be overwhelming for people living with distress, illness, and disability. Shutting our doors was heartbreaking. It felt like we were taking away a lifeline. People wanted to know how long we would be closed for and how they were going to cope without their support network and structure to their day. It was also striking how important connection and purposeful occupation is for the team at Jami. To feel unable to help, unable to support, felt destabilizing at a time when we were all looking to gain some control in a situation that allows so little. The team also felt isolated from colleagues, and for some who live alone, this was felt acutely. We quickly responded to the needs of the most isolated by delivering meals. We organised telephone befriending for people, either with one of our team or a volunteer. We began learning how to develop an online programme. It became apparent how much we take for granted that people have access to technology and have the skills to use it. Not only did we need to distribute tablets to connect people online, but also set up remote IT support. This almost instantaneously connected people to us, to each other, and a whole host of online resources in a meaningful way. The meals we are providing are not just about meeting a basic need, although for many this may be the only hot meal of the day because of financial issues, inadequate home environment, or because preparing a meal is unattainable due to mental ill health. But meals at Jami have also been about connection, belonging, and sharing something with others, and crucially, social interaction. Therefore, our lunch delivery also gives us the opportunity to have a doorstep chat at a 2-metre distance. This has been an emerging mutual support system as our frontline key staff and volunteers have also gained a feeling of connection and purpose. Our online cafe wellbeing menu, education prospectus, and mental health recovery support are well established now, and we're committed to a blended service long term. COVID also accelerated the launch of our online text-based counselling service, Quell. The pandemic has provided an opportunity to adapt and create new services more quickly than before. This has also enabled increased connections and more hours of support to more individuals than before the pandemic. People who would usually be connecting in physical spaces with people from a small geographical area are now in virtual spaces with people from across the country and internationally. My next thoughts to share with you are on the impact this crisis is having on us, our families, the wider community, and on society. We are all facing uncertainty, fear, panic, isolation, financial insecurity, disruption to our roles, routine, and meaningful occupations. This cuts through all layers of society and faith and culture, although the impact on people with little or no financial and/or social resources is much, much higher. I think we can learn a lot from those who have been facing these issues as part of their normal life. We can gain hope from the resilience and wisdom developed by people who have had to face the impact of inequality, inaccessibility, and discrimination. Inadequate welfare system, access to health services, lack of affordable housing, and poverty have become almost an accepted part of illness and disability in our society. The age of austerity has left us ill-equipped to face the enormous burden on public services that we are facing. Now more than ever, a community response is needed. Supporting people to have access to the things they need, ensuring their human rights are met, supporting people to build a meaningful life and connections to others are our bread and butter, and something that faith communities understand well. The benefits to belonging to a faith community are well documented. They serve as a protective factor to our mental health, and research has shown it could also reduce suicide risk. I think that the values that are at the heart of faith-based organisations and communities engender a person-centred, needs-led response to issues facing communities. It is not enough to simply be with others to combat loneliness. We can feel lonely in a crowded room. Therefore, we can also feel connected if we are physically distant. We need to connect, to share something with someone, to do something or learn something with others, provide for others, to belong to groups. We can connect via shared interest or difference. Belonging to a group also helps us make sense of who we are. A message I feel is important at a time when we are hearing about the mental impact of COVID is that the distress we are all feeling is justified. It is tangible, and we are not all suffering from mental illness because we are fearful, anxious, feeling low, or struggling with the day-to-day. It is a normal response. However, the long-term direct and indirect impact of COVID will have an impact on mental health and place people at risk of developing mental illness. Therefore, we do need to look after ourselves and each other. Loneliness and isolation may be a new experience for some, or COVID may have exacerbated existing loneliness. We need to stay connected and connect with those who are harder to reach and seek support when needed. Put our own oxygen mask on first. We need to be cautious about putting ourselves under pressure with some of the well-being content that we see on social media telling us how to get through lockdown. We need to ask ourselves, what do we need today or even in this hour? For example, going for a walk may not be achievable. Open the window for some fresh air. We are told this is a good time to learn a new skill or hobby. Maybe just getting washed and dressed is enough. But the main thing is we all respond differently, but we are all united in this experience. We have found new ways of connecting with people and of connecting people with each other. We need to rethink what accessibility means. We have an opportunity to be more inclusive and better understanding ours and other people's experiences. We can find comfort in how communities are responding with compassion and creativity to get through this together. Please take a look at Jami's website, www.jamiuk.org, to find out more information about Jami's services, including Quell, which is a free, safe and confidential online counselling and emotional wellbeing service for adults, Kuth Student, which provides free, safe and online counselling and support for students, and Shout's text service, which is a 24/7 crisis service on 85258, where you can text Jami if you are struggling to cope or need immediate help. So text Jami to 85258. But all details are on our website at www.jamiuk.org, or you can call 0208 458 2223. I hope you have an enjoyable Shabbat. Thank you very much.
Is a community fundraiser at Jami, and thank for Jami to support and to adapt their services to offer help, advice, and I can say friendship to all people who need that, meaning in a way, each of us. And so we go to the Kaddish, and we are page, we remember to the page 5, 2024. We remember today, it is a yard site for Jimmy Abramson, brother of Judy Parrish, Barbara Montagu, mother of Joyce Tyler, Liselott Hirschfeld, mother of Judy Cole, Tony Simmons, husband of Maria Simmons, and Frances Milesi, remembered by her many friends at KLS. And this morning, Vince remind us that it is also the outside of Debbie Friedman. And we sing the music she composed for Michel Bechar. Zirona Livracha, may their memory be a blessing for us. יתגדל ויתקדש שמך הבא, בעלמא דבחר יחותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון ויומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהא שמך הבא ובחר לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתבחר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בכיחו, לעילה מן כל בירתה ושירתה, תוש ברתה ונחמתה, דמיכן בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן. יהא שלמך הבא מן שמיה, בחיים עלינו והכל ישראל, ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, והכל ישראל, והכל בני אדם, ויאמרו amen. And now it is the end of the service, and we finish with Vince, who will sing Mi Aish.
Maybe we see the words on the screen.
Yes, with pleasure. I was searching it. Here it is.
Can we see the English before we sing?
Yes.
So that people can see that this song, which Yaera has chosen for us, is a recipe for enjoying life. And it's quite simple, really. Watch your speech. Don't do any evil. Do good. And seek peace. And the tune is a tune that I like so much that I'm really, really glad that Yaera has chosen it for us today. Mi ha'is echafes chayim Ohev yamim liroto Mi ha'is echafes chayim Ohev yamim liroto L'tzor l'shochamera U'smatecha medaber mimra Tzur merov asei tov B'kei shalom b'rafehu Mi ha'ish echafes chayim Ohev yamim liroto
Thank you so much, Vince. Thank you very much. And so I think it is a wonderful, wonderful thing that this kind of psalm are in our Bible. It's amazing, and it's now just to finish, as we are a bit late, just to finish with some words. Page 529. May the Eternal One guard your going out and your coming in, now and always. Adonai yishmar tzetecha uvochecha me'ata ve'ad olam. So, and we will be together for the Kiddush. And so we will wait a few minutes to let people join us.